welcome you to this second lecture about the Abbasids. The Abbasids had ruled over a significant chunk of geographical space and a very significant timeline covering Arabia, Persia, Transoxiana, the Coptic regions, uh, Iberia, that is Spain and Portugal, and south of France. And these regions we have now in Afro-Mediterranean coast. So the first was Abul Abbas as-Saffah. The first ruler was Abul Abbas as-Saffah. In a book that is Tarikh Nama of Muhammad Bal'ami, who happened in the 10th century. Tarikh Nama of Muhammad al-Bal'ami. We have a depiction of as-Saffah receiving pledges of allegiance in Kufa, which is known as al-Wila. That was a tradition in the Middle Ages that when there was a new king, new ruler, or even new emir appointed by the king, he would take Wila or the pledges of allegiance from the masses. We have several remains from the Abbasid times. We don't have much remains, archaeological remains from the Umayyad times because of the plunder, the carnage carried out by the Abbasids against them, leaving everything in ruin. So as of now, only few remaining things are there, like the great Umayyad mosque, another Umayyad mosque in Aleppo, which is smaller than that, alongside remains of some fortresses and some other things. Only the tomb of Muawiyah is intact, Turbat Muawiyah. I have visited this place long before. So this is in Samarra. This is Darul Khilafa. Darul Khilafa. It depicts the Darul Khilafa of Samarra, the caliph in caliph's that is the caliph's palace. These are the special walls and spiral minaret of the great mosque of Samarra, another magnificent remaining from 848 to 852 CE in the Abbasid capital of Samarra. Qasrul Ashiq Palace in Samarra, built between 877 and 882 CE. Some remains are over there, which are to be seen. The Al Mustansariya Madrasa in Baghdad, which was established in 1227, one of the few Abbasid era madrasas remaining today. If we visit the remaining madrasas of antiquity, that is the Middle Ages, not antiquity, spread over different parts of the Muslim world, like or in Persia or in Transoxiana, Central Asia, Uzbekistan, Bukhara, Tashkent, Samarkand, etc. We'll be finding much proximity. We'll be tracing much proximity, much similarity in the structure, in the archaeology that is found in these magnificent buildings. So some of them are still intact with full charm and grandeur. Just to recollect some timeline, 750 to 1258 and 1261 to 1517. These are the different timelines. The first capital was Kufa. So again, we usually think that Baghdad was the only capital of the Abbasids, but the fact is that in that historical journey, starting with Abu al-Abbas Safah and his general Abu Muslim al-Khurasani, uh, they established their state, their authority in Kufa, and Kufa remained their capital from 750 to 762. Then we have Baghdad 762 to 836, and again 892 to 1258, followed by Samarra, Surra Man Ra'a. It was actually Surra Man Ra'a, it became Samarra in short, from 836 to 892. Then Cairo, and of course a brief stint that we'll be having during the time of Harun al-Rashid, that is Al-Raqqa. So Al-Raqqa also uh, had been the seat of power of Abbasid during the Abbasid times, during the time of so it was the first capital of Harun al-Rashid. The caliphs, the first was Abu al-Abbas al-Saffah, and Musta'asim was the last caliph in Baghdad. In the second phase, 1261 to 1262, Al-Mustansir II, first caliph in Cairo under the Mamluk Sultanate that lasted from 1261 to 1517. And Al-Mutawakkil III was the last caliph in Cairo. And with this, the grandeur of the Abbasids is totally eclipsed from history. In terms of timeline, we have the Abbasid revolution in 750. Baghdad was founded in 762. Al-Mamun wins civil war in 813. Foundation of Samarra 836. Anarchy at Samarra 861 to 870. The Buwayhids, Banu Buway, taking control of Baghdad in 945. Abbasids declare independence from Seljuks 1165. Mongol siege of Baghdad in 1258. Abbasids re-establishing themselves in Cairo 1261. And finally Ottomans conquering Cairo in 1517. These are different events related to the timeline of the Abbasids. Well, already seen the gold coin during the time of the Umayyads. So Umayyads also had their gold coin alongside other coins. So in the domain of numismatics, we have these legacies. So gold dinar was minted during the reign of Al-Amin, who had ruled between 809 to 813, paving the way then for Mamun. Mamun was known especially for his patronage of sciences, of hikmah, who had encouraged the transmission of the Greek wisdom, Greek literature, Greek sciences into Arabic. This is as it is well known. So here we have Harun al-Rashid receiving a delegation from Charlemagne in 768. This is preserved in Munich, in the Maximilianum Munich. This is preserved. Among other things, we have in the domain of the embassy, we find that John the Grammarian, John VII of Constantinople, as ambassador before Theophilus and Mamun, the embassy of John the Grammarian in 829 between the Byzantine Emperor Theophilus on the right and the Abbasid Caliph Mamun on the left. So This is again uh, a historical record uh, testifying the that great and significant amount of embassy political outreach taking place between Harun and Charlemagne. We have talked about translation. We have seen translation because Abbasid times embarked upon institutional and individual efforts for assimilating the cultures of other nations, of other neighboring countries, cultures, civilizations like the Indian civilization, the Sanskrit legacy, the Persian legacy, especially as we find in the domain of Alf Layla wa Layla, which is based on Hazar Afsana. Even India's Panchatantra migrated through Old Persian into Arabic. So it was first translated into Old Persian, and from that translation, Abdullah ibn al-Muqaffa translated it into Arabic, or there's another version saying that he actually translated it from the Suryani, that is the Syriac. So Hunayn ibn Ishaq had played a very significant role in the domain of the transformation of transition of knowledge, this translator culture uh, that was a distinct feature, a distinct mark uh, of the Abbasid times. So this is depiction of Hunayn ibn Ishaq. Hunayn ibn Ishaq alongside his son, that is Ishaq ibn Hunayn, Hunayn ibn Ishaq, Ishaq ibn Hunayn, Sabit bin Qarra, Hubaysh al-Asam, etc. They had played very significant role. Masar Juway, they had played very significant role in dissemination of the Greek knowledge, Greek knowledge culture into Arabic. Abdullah ibn al-Muqaffa, who died around 756 759, his Kalila wa Dimna, which is Sanskrit Panchatantra. This is in 1220. This manuscript dates back to 1220. So, as we know that Panchatantra is a collection of stories of animals, stories told by the tongue of nature, the animals, etc. We will be having lots of images with the images over there. So it was translated, as it has been said, into Arabic via Old Persian and Syriac. And as of now, all the translation, all the existing versions of Panchatantra story, Indian Panchatantra story, have been related to this Arabic translation, which was done by Abdullah ibn al-Muqaffa. So this is again a masterpiece. If things are gauged in parameters of the historical significance, spread, as Panchatantra is found in more or less all the major languages of the world, translations, adaptations, legacies associated with them. So this actually stands to be a point of great historical reference and a point for us, the Indians, to take pride. Baitul Hikmah in 8th century, in a manuscript, depiction has been made by Yahya ibn Wasiti, found in the Maqama of Hariri, located at the Bibliothèque Nationale de France. That's the National Library of France. Image depicts a library with pupils in it. So this is one of the rare depictions of the Abbasid culture related to Baitul Hikmah. In the wake of translations, we find that there were translations from Greek into Arabic, from Syriac into Arabic. This is example of a translation from Syriac into Arabic. So at the one hand, at one folio, you are having this is the Syriac folio, and this is the Arabic folio. Likewise, we find in the bilingual Greek translations, Greek manuscripts having the Greek folio as well as the Arabic folio, alongside other things. In another book that is written by Al Istakhri, Book of Roads and Kingdoms, Kitab al Masalik wal Mamalik, Al Masalik wal Mamalik, it depicts the spirit of the time, the scientific spirit of the time, that is simply epitomized by the uh, Abbasids. So here we have some depictions related to science. So that was, as we know, the Abbasid times are known as the golden period of Muslim culture or Arab culture. It was the golden period, the golden phase, because it encompassed all facets of human culture, literature, poetry, mysticism, scholasticism, philosophy, geography, history, sciences, all the branches of sciences, pure sciences, practical sciences, natural sciences, alongside religious sciences. So there were hundreds of thousands of people, of scholars, poets, uh, philosophers who had enriched the academia, the literary scene, the theological literary scene, as well as the literary enterprise scene, the scene related to literary enterprise, with their volumes of contributions, most of some of which have, of course, reached to us, not most of which, because of the carnage of the Tatars at Baghdad, the devastation of Baghdad. It was during the Abbasid times that we have the first map prepared by Al Idrisi in the 12th century. This is the first map of the world. He presents to us this first map of this world. This map is originally preserved in a library in Morocco, in Morocco's library. I have seen this map, uh, which is preserved in a library in Morocco, in Ibn Battuta city, in the city. Ibn Battuta, the great traveler, who had traveled to India also and became wazir during the times of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He had also visited some other places of India and given the accounts of his visits in his Rihla, Tuhfatun al-Nuzar. Interestingly, he had also mentioned Aligarh, which was known as Koil at that time. But of course, the references are not very good because of some that is ill-fortunate events he became victim to during his visit or passing through Aligarh, this region. So, well, this is the first map of the world prepared by Al-Idrisi during the Middle Ages. Siege of Baghdad by Mongols led by Hulagu Khan in 1258, as illustrated in a copy of in 1258 in a copy of the 14th century Jami' al-Tawarikh, Jami' al-Tawarikh by Rashiduddin al-Hamadani. So he depicts the siege of Baghdad, how it was devastated. With this, we come to conclude the second lecture. It will be followed by the third lecture. Thank you.